Hello, thank you for watching this short tutorial on how to clean up and organize your Google Drive. Having the opportunity to work with a ton of teachers with technology, one thing I always notice is that they really struggle organizing and keeping their Google Drive clean and efficient. So I'm going to show you some quick little tips that will show you how to clean up your drive really quickly and then keep it organized. One of the first ways is this idea of having only a certain number of folders. Often you'll go into someone's drive and they'll have like 30, 40 folders on their main page, and that often causes a lot of you have to search for everything all the time. So it's the first idea is having like main header folders. So I have them by, in terms of my current job, the book I'm writing, personal stuff, my blended learning role, and my old classroom stuff. So that allows me to quickly put things in these folders and then organize them within those. So when I log into Drive, I'm not overwhelmed with so many folders. The other thing is that I color code them. So if I was to create a new folder, so I'm going to go new folder, and let's just say I was to say connect. I was going to create a folder for this. I could create that folder and you'll see that when it shows up, it's naturally gray. The other thing is if you right click on that, you can change the color. And I always try and associate the color with whatever it is I'm doing. So say I was back in the classroom, I'd probably have a math one and it would be blue related to the curriculum and yellow related to the language curriculum. It would just help me find it. A suggestion that I normally have with people is I usually wouldn't have more than 8 folders on my drop page. I think that really helps. And for the next part, it's well, how do you organize this quickly? Because what a lot of people struggle with is, say, for instance, they have this and they want this to go into a certain folder. What they're doing is this idea, and it's really hard to get it to go all the way up. So one thing I really think works really well is instead of going upwards, there's that little arrow right here. When you show people this, they're like, oh, it makes so much sense because you can drop that arrow down and all of these folders are now on the side. And so why that is useful is that you can go through here and then drag sideways. So for instance, I could go, oh, this is part of my Connect folder, right? Oh, this is another thing for Connect. And I can go through here and add these in relatively quickly. So now I've got all my Connect things. Now, if I wanted multiple, like I'm going to click this one, and if I hold down Shift, I can select both of them, or I could go above it and highlight both of them. So you can also move 2 things at one time. Now, when you run into something like this, in which you have a lot of them, if you click on the top one, and go all the way down to the bottom one. So all these pictures are going in one folder. So if I hold down Shift now, because I've clicked on the top one and hold down Shift and click on the bottom one, it will highlight all of those. So now you can see that they're all highlighted, and then I can just take this and I can put it right into a folder. Now if I want to, I can go in here and I can actually drop down this and say this is the folder that I want them. So I can even drop down see subfolders, and it kind of jumped off there, so I'm going to go back and do that again. Again, you just click on the top one, scroll to the last photograph that you want. So this is the last one. I'm going to hold down Shift and click that. You're going to see that it's going to highlight all of them. And then what I can do is I can just drag that over. And you'll see how it says there's 54 items. Now I've just taken 54 items, taken them off my main page. That is truly what overwhelms people, because they come in and they say, well, I have all these files. Now you can see I only have a couple files left. So these ones right here, I'll put in my personal folder. This one right here, I'll just slide over and add in here. And the last one is I can select those and just put them in here. So now you can see that my folders are really clean. Now, if anything new was added to this, I could just simply, when it pops up on here, I just slide it into one of those folders. And then later on, I could go in and organize these folders the way they need to be organized, but just from, at least now I have them categorized at the top. The other thing to really pay attention to with Google Drive is how you're naming conventions and if you're using short forms. So for instance, if I name things appropriately, so say I look up lead, the program we're running, I can see all of my lead stuff come up on one page. So how we name it. And the last thing with this is if you're looking to search something and you have a lot of them, not only can I look it up there, there's this button right here that does search options. So I can look by who owns it. This is a really good one. I can say, well, I want only presentations. And you can see I have all these search options. You can kind of check them out. But when I search it, it will narrow it down to give me just the presentations that I want. So these ones are all the ones that were done in slides. So it's a really fast way when you think about it to organize that. But it all starts with having like a narrow number of main folders, and then within those having other folders. The color coding helps you eventually really move stuff quick, but the key is this little drop down and being able to drag sideways. It makes it so much faster and more efficient to clean up. Hopefully this short tutorial on how to organize and clean up your drive helps. It's small things like this that make us more efficient and save us time.